for educational, critical review and reaction is Jordan Maxwell.
So, America is shrouded in darkness. It's like we're going head to head in an all-out brawl against reptilian overlords.
Yeah, this is what V.I. Lenin found the Communist Party in the Soviet Union. He called a bunch of useful idiots. That was his term, useful idiots. And that's true. That's what we Americans are today. We're all a bunch of useful idiots.
Yeah.
We go along, and whatever they tell us, we just do. Keep the people, make sure they got plenty of liquor stores on every corner. Make sure the people of America have all the liquor stores they could possibly want.
Yeah.
Put them on liquor stores on every corner. Make sure they got plenty of liquor to drink.
Oh, wow.
Give the young people plenty of sports, because that'll wear them out. They'll be tired and want to go to sleep. And so that's what we want to do. We want to give all the young people, all the youngsters in colleges and schools, give them plenty of sports and let them be running around basketball, football, tennis ball, ping pong ball, bowling ball, kicker ball, soccer ball. Just give them kids something to bounce the ball.
Right.
Let them bounce the ball and keep them busy. Never figure it out.
Right. While the overlords are deciding what they're going to do with our pathetic lives, here's this yo-yo to spin up and down.
Yeah, it's live for sure. They are preparing all of us, and we are useful idiots. We are the idiots, and they tell us what to do, and we do it. SS, Gestapo.
What are your thoughts on, I guess, David Icke's work within the reptilians? And I guess give us your own. And could they be behind some of the agendas, or could they be behind some of the evil and the wars and rumors of wars and famine over the past several thousand years?
Well, first of all, I was in business with David Icke. I brought David Icke to America back in 1992, I think it was, 91 or 92. I heard about David Icke, and I brought him to America, and I helped promote him and spent a lot of company money on promoting him and getting him on television and radio and getting him out there. So I was kind of like in business with David Icke many years ago. But I said quite a few years ago in public at a big conference that David and I were on the stage together, and he was talking about the reptilian subject. I said to the audience, I am totally convinced beyond a shadow of a doubt that there are reptilians, but not because David Icke brought the subject up. I knew about this subject long before I ever heard of David Icke. And I am totally convinced that he is right. There is something that's happening on this earth that because we are reptilians, so we have reptilian brains. We were born in our water. The scientists and doctors will tell you that we are reptilian in our complex of the way we're made up as humans.
Do you think the royal families that he discusses, and other researchers also, do you think they have more of this reptilian blood and this reptilian lineage within their bloodlines?
Yeah, I tend to believe that. But when I'm giving you my opinion, it's just a subjective opinion.
Exactly.
Okay, but keep this in mind. When a federal judge issues an edict, he issues a last word in a case. The federal judge, we say he has rendered an opinion. But in understanding, the judge has rendered an opinion that's not off the top of his head, what he would happen to be thinking about at the time. No, when a judge renders an opinion, he's presented with a very difficult question about a case. He is supposed to be able to go back to the history, back in the 50s. What did the court say? What did the Supreme Court say about this subject? What did they say back in the 1870s? What did they say back in the 1776 on this subject? And so that's part of what you need to know as a judge. What has the courts of America said, or in Europe, what have the courts said about this subject? Well, based on all of that study over the years, my opinion is no, the opinion of the law is. And so when I say I'm giving you my opinion, but it's not out the top of my head, it's because I have sat and talked for hours with Zachariah Sitchin and Lloyd Pye and people I've traveled around the world with. These people are experts, and everybody knew it. Well, I happened by chance somehow to be in their company and could travel with them and talk with them and learn privately from them. So based on all that I have heard the experts say, there is no doubt in my mind that these reptilians do exist, and they are in government, and they are the powers behind government. And then there, if you go, and I copied something off of the web, a video off of the web, and I'm thank God I did, because it's very hard to find, and I don't even know if it's on the web anymore, because I talked about it in public on some big shows, and all of a sudden it's not on the web anymore. That happens. I'll talk about something that I saw and go on the web to look for it, and then you find out, no, it's gone. They pulled it off. Well, I have a video that will absolutely shock you of Prince Charles when he was being interviewed on 60 Minutes. But they sent the interviewer to England, and it was on his home territory in a big yard with the 60-minute interviewer and Prince Charles, and they're sitting in the gardens, chit-chatting, and the interviewer for 60 Minutes asked him something that he didn't want to talk about. He wasn't happy that it was brought up, and so when he asked him this question, it's incredible. Prince Charles turned around and hissed like a snake. His eyes got real, elongated, and he hissed like a snake at this guy. And it wasn't just a quickie. No, he sat there and hissed at him like a snake. That was interesting, very interesting. If you go on the web today and go into the what do you call it, the TV thing, YouTube, and type in humans hissing or people hissing, and you will find there's all kinds of interesting politicians and people, important people, and they've got little 10-second pieces of some famous person turning around and answering a question they didn't want to hear, and they're hissing like a snake. Well, there's too much smoke not to be a fire. Why would these people, instead of saying something like, I'm not interested in a subject, or drop it, no, they hiss like a snake. So there's got to be a reason why some people who are important in this world, when they hear things they don't want to hear, they hiss like a snake. So I'm totally convinced that I think that's what's really going on. We have reptilians running this planet. But there's somebody else was here before them that created us. Come, let us make man in our image, after our likeness. Okay, so they ended up making us. But now we have a new gang pulling into town. Now we got a new biker gang pulling into town, the reptilians. And they are smarter than we are collectively. They know more than we do. They found us. We didn't find them. And so they've come in now, and our creators, the gods who created us, have gone out there, but they said they will come back. Well, that's what Jesus said. I will return with my angels. I want to come back. There's going to be a great war. Well, yeah. If there was a group of angels came here and they created us in their image and likeness and gave us our earth, and then they left, but they promised they would come back. Well, after they left, others came here, the reptilians from another place in the universe. And they saw us, we're just innocent, beautiful creatures here that they can rape, plunder, and play with, and organize and give us religions. They give us philosophies. They give us guns. They give us how to go to war, how to create this and create that. A spiritual awakening that people are not ready for. I don't think people, generally speaking, want to be awakened. So I think that whoever it is that has control over us and over our minds, and obviously somebody does, because somebody is running the whole planet. And no matter how crazy we are, no matter how violent we are, and how stupid we are, the whole world seems to work. Somehow or another seems to work with all the wars and crime and violence and drugs and shooting people, but the whole world continues to operate. And the rich get richer and the poor get poorer, and things go on. So it shows me that there's some kind of a higher intelligence that's ripping us off, raping us, destroying us. But they keep it running. They keep the circus going, so that they get more children being born, more humans coming into the system. So I basically boils down to the fact that I believe that we are created. We are somebody else's creation. We have been created as an entity by someone else. And whoever it is that has created us, they're not human, obviously, because we're trying to catch up on the science that the Egyptians have. We can't even understand. So that's another important point about history, is that we're not gaining, we're not evolving, we are devolving. We're not getting smarter as we go, we're getting stupider as we go. Because when you look at the ancient world, they knew and understood technology that we can't even figure out today. We're still trying to figure out how the Egyptians, the Sumerians, the Babylonians, the Akkadians knew what they did, how they could figure out the universe. They knew how much the sun weighed. They wrote down the distance between the different planets and how big the Earth was, how much it weighed. They went on and on and on, writing about all kinds of strange things that we don't even understand today. And so much of our occult sciences are based on the ancient Hindus, the Sumerians, that we're trying to study what those people were talking about. Obviously, they were far advanced than we were, and that we've been getting dumber as we go down the line. So that today, it's an extraordinary situation that all over the world, people are totally ignorant, ill-informed, unread, dim-witted, and if you try and present something which is out of the ordinary, there must be something wrong with you. But if you're serious-minded about where we came from and who created us and where we're going, I think looking at this whole idea of reptilian past might be a good place to start.